Welcome to Tales from the Majestic Mothership. Majestic Hudson fosters connection, inspires creativity, and supports a compassionate lifestyle, one blissful experience at a time. Please follow us at majestichudson.com and all social media where we can help you follow your bliss.
Boo.
Boo! Oh my God, it's Halloween. We're actually dressed up today.
It's
folks.
Halloween. I put
If
on
you've
my
never seen
finest
us-
wings.
Yes, I just realized also that we didn't even know what we were going to be. And but we're very yin yang today.
Yeah, I would argue that this is our internal coming out. So for you, it's a cute little blonde Alice in Wonderland fantasy. And for me, it's a Scottish demon. That's, checks out. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very appropriate also with all the eclipsey shit happening on today. Today's literally like the new moon, and it's like there's an eclipse. And there's a lot of feminine variation out there with this eclipse.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
We need to take charge in like all the ways.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
seriously.
I know.
Yeah,
but also being super creative and all that. I'm not good in blonde.
I don't know. I think it's cute. Love the little bow. Like it just, I love it.
My drink me. This is gonna be my drink me. Oh yeah, it does have a bell on it.
I mean, it goes without saying. I plan to have these wings on, just like for like fun when we put it on YouTube, and then Jen was like, "Oh my God, like I gotta get into the spirit," and so she goes off camera, and then all I hear for the next 30 seconds before she comes back is just fucking bells, ringing all through the background. I was like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? What's going on?
I have to take a screenshot of this right now. Wait, hold on. It's so funny. Yeah, so I mean, Halloween is coming up before our next cast, so we figured we should do something here.
I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
I know. I think spellcasting. What do you think?
I am just kind of embracing my inner witch, getting dressed up, gonna go out, be social, get a little witchy, and then the actual day of Halloween is gonna be a very relaxed,
it is a Monday.
Do a little spell, set an intention for the month and the rest of the year. So it's fun. I get to have my cake and eat it too. I'll be able to do all the aspects of Halloween that I love.
Yeah, I tell you, it's as Althea got older, and I was getting I was sort of mourning Halloween a little bit because I always dress up anyway, but there was a period in my life where it's like, oh, there's not a lot of parties, not a lot of reasons, but we do live in Katona, which is like a Tim Burton movie on crack.
Yeah, you guys go so fucking hard.
And now I have the Mothership in the downtown. I'm like, oh yes, game on.
Yeah, seriously.
I will be teaching that night, but I will also be available. And on Sunday we're gonna do all these spells. I mean, we're just gonna do whatever you guys want, all ages.
I know. I'm so excited.
So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the eclipse, and then should we talk about our favorite spells?
Yes, I would love to do that.
Okay. So we have another solar eclipse, right? Mm-hmm. And when eclipses happen, things get either eclipsed in or eclipsed out.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. I always thought it was surprising until I realized oh my God, that's actually true. But you don't really know what's happening until it's you're kind of in it, or you understand that it's actually happening, right?
Yeah.
So obviously we're not going to get personal, folks. You have to think about it yourself, because if I was to tell you what's getting eclipsed and eclipsed out right now, this would be my therapy session and not our podcast.
Yeah. Or for me, it would be both, where I just overshare. And I'm like, yeah, fucking flailing. Everyone's
And
like,
I'm
you don't need to share that.
and then we're like, we've had full podcasts where Eddie's like, Ellie's like, yeah, I just I had to delete everything because we couldn't actually post anything to the public.
You started swearing. Do you want me to put in that 5 minutes where we just said fuck over and over again?
And all of our deep, darkest secrets, you know.
I know.
Oh my God.
There's always a price to pay with being a little unapologetic with my personal information. Is I'm sometimes just so open into just putting it out into the void, and that it just on the off chance that anyone else feels the same way and can kind of find sanctuary in that. But there's a balance too. Doesn't need to be 24/7 all the time. You can reel it in a bit. We're not getting into that kind of spooky.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. Ellie's past. That's a lock. There's a lock on that book.
Yeah, I know. And I was thinking about how much stuff I've eclipsed out for the past decade. And I'm like, okay, ready to eclipse in.
Yeah. Or for me, the past 3 months, just.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like we need to get you with Deborah and figure out all your other astrology stuff in case you had some big things going and it won't show up for another few years.
Yeah, exactly.
So this, excuse the yawn. I think our costumes are appropriate because with this particular eclipse, there's the shadows of solar eclipse, but there's a masculine archetype and then there's a feminine archetype happening at exactly the same time. So this kind of stuff triggers, well, a couple of casts ago, we were sort of talking about a reckoning, but let's not call it a reckoning. Maybe an illumination, right?
For sure.
You know, an illumination. I mean, one of the last times we had a partial solar eclipse was in April. And all you guys have to do is rewind to April and you'll know what the fuck happened during your eclipse. I know I did.
Yeah.
Then there was another one in May. That was interesting.
Yeah.
All you need to do, guys, is rewind your calendar. As I break.
Yeah.
And
the beautiful locks.
I know this is actually really fun. I've never had hair this long before.
Yeah.
So lots of weird stuff that happens that comes in and comes out, right?
Yeah, totally.
But what I wanted to get a little bit of sort of, how do you explain this? Our anecdotes and our folklore and all that kind of a thing. Because the other thing about this particular eclipse is that Venus is very close to the Scorpio sign right now, which, could mean things like love, rebirth, that kind of a thing. But it's also with the Scorpio, it makes it kind of very dynamic.
Right.
So Venus is ruled by Persephone. Did you know that?
I think you actually told me recently, so I did.
Wait, did we do this already? No, we were always talking about some goddess and god in their whole thing.
We touched on Persephone with the autumn equinox.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes.
We did talk about her already.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just interesting. The whole thing. Persephone is the goddess to kind of key into right now, if you want to. You know, and to think in terms of how you want to, again, negotiate your life in terms of what you have, kind of invite it. How about invite it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And that's a good segue actually when we talk about spell work.
Right.
Because when you're doing spell work, it could be an invitation. First of all, full on disclaimer, folks, when we talk about magic and spell work and things like that, we don't do black magic. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. Everything is consenting and lightweight and easy. But sometimes it is very true and very organized.
Yes.
And we invite things to happen, right?
Please do not summon demons in the bathroom.
No, please do not do that. Don't bring out, all the lying, scheming, dolls with pins in them. This is not a voodoo. This is the Northeast. We're still, We're still,
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing. My brain's a little fogged today. I need like a green tea. I need one of those matcha lattes.
Oh my God, I know just what we need to like an evil green drink to just make us look like we're tripping absolute
I
balls.
know. I
But
wish we
it's
had like a
matcha.
little bubbling green drink
I
right now. That would
know,
be
I
so
know.
awesome.
Oh, that would be so funny.
So if you were to say, let's just like spitball here a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. And I don't,
Okay.
we all know what that means. And I don't, I want to look that up again. But anyway, if you were to say, if you needed an abundance spell, what would you do?
Oh, to curate abundance, I would immediately go to my selenite bowl and like
Oh,
my selenite bar.
mhm.
Because when I think of abundance, I think of like I for one think of charging in the sense of like getting myself to a state where I'm ready to accept abundance.
Mhm.
Because otherwise I feel like if I'm not ready to receive, it feels really overwhelming, even when it's an
True.
amazing opportunity.
Mhm.
I'm the type of person who has gotten a panic attack for winning an award for my writing. Like, which is just like because like I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude, but I might not necessarily be in that space where I can fully receive it and appreciate it, that like my brain and body kind of like short circuit a little bit and
Mhm.
go a
Mhm.
little stir crazy. But so I would definitely think of selenite in like that heightening, but also with charging, there is sort of this like um an inference of sort of collection and getting ready and building up. That's sort of
Luck, a lot of
yes,
luck. Yeah.
exactly.
So like having
Um,
a lot of selenite around you, would you pair it with any particular crystals you'd like or no?
I mean, I'm always going to pair it with aquamarine because
Mhm.
Jen, as you know, the amount of times that I need to calm the fuck down is very frequent. So I would definitely do that. But a stone that I've been carrying around with me, that even though it repels negative energy and that's kind of what it's known for, I've also been feeling it really kind of bringing up my self-confidence, is black
Oh,
tourmaline.
oh, amazing.
So I mean, just sort of that, like, you know, because obviously, I think, as we all know, there's a difference between negative energy and then like constructive criticism. And I just
Yeah,
find
makes
that
a
just like
differentiate.
having that
Mhm.
with me makes me very attuned in a mature and receptive way to anything that I might need to hear, because
Mhm.
I think that is also in line with abundance, is like it's all good, but it can also be constructive.
Mhm.
And I think, having with me something that would help allow me to be in the headspace to receive that in the same way
Mhm.
that, selenite is helping kind of build me up there. I think black tourmaline would also kind of help bring me down. And then this is a bit of a random one, but it's a comfort thing, cacao. I just think,
Oh, yes. I was talking
yeah,
about that yesterday with somebody too.
I love cacao, and I just think bringing, something that's another element of the earth and comes from the earth in a slightly different way, and also just kind of brings, comfort and joy, and I associate it with family, and so,
Yeah.
just
Oh, that's awesome. So
welcoming
that's like a
that.
ritual in itself. It's like
Yeah.
a spell, like, by the way, when you drink your cacao or your tea or something like that, to just take a moment and honor it. You're like, I bring in all sorts of abundance. I hope for protection. I hope for, love and prosperity for not just myself, but all those around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of like
Yeah.
important to amplify the magic. I mean,
Right.
I do that all the time. Actually, I don't know. Some people are very specific, but I tend to always have to kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but like, bless me, bless you.
Yeah.
Like it has to come full circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, there's also like a physicality aspect to, like the art of, cacao, and this is obviously can be attributed to other elements of a ritual or a spell as well. But when you sort of have that mantra and that affirmation of like, I give myself what I give to you. I bless me and I bless you. And then like the kind of the act of just like welcoming in that warmth is it's not just because I am an absolute hoe for chocolate. It's also like it also very much,
it's heart opening. It's opening
it is.
heart. And when you open the heart, the cat is flipping out right now. But anyway.
Yeah, she senses it.
Okay, so now okay, go ahead. And then
I had a
throw
quick
one at me too.
Yes.
I want to just throw
I
it
totally
back and forth. Let's make this be spontaneous.
I love it. I love it. You guys are just sitting on the couch with us. You've got your little Halloween costume on. Like we're just having a gab at the table, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, weird little anecdote is I keep all my crystals kind of like on the windowsill over there, and the smaller ones I keep in a selenite bowl. But Stephanie, little fucker, has been taking my aquamarine out and lining it up on my windowsill. I'm not even fucking kidding.
She's got skills.
She does. She's got straight skills. But I'm going to throw back the question for you, Jen. For curating abundance, what's your top?
Throw it back for abundance?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Wait, actually.
Wait, you can change it.
I want to rephrase. I I gotta dig deep. Gotta get inside.
I know she's gonna throw it out. And Hari's looking at me too, like, oh shit, what is she gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. He fully knows. He knows what I'm gonna ask before I do. Let me think. All right. So for the ingredients to a spell / ritual, what would you find around you to help you curate, like something that helps you find magic around you? Like kind of like a secret like blue light that like helps you sort of discover and in the spirit of Halloween.
Okay, so that's actually a good one. So I'm gonna rephrase that, or I'm gonna digest that as like, how do we access another level of our perception? Right. So for everyone, I'm going to talk about it creatively first, and then we'll talk about it psychically. How about that?
I love it.
Okay, because we do always dip into like creativity all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, a big fan of jumping out of your comfort zone, right? So
yeah.
First of all, you have to set aside time for any ritual and spell. By the way, you have to set aside time. So find a place to be in a comfortable space. Then you're going to have, let me see, I'm thinking about this. I'm kind of diving in a little bit. We do not need fire for this. Just tell you this.
She's telling herself this.
We do need a candle, a little ritual candle, right? Your choice of color kind of thing. I'm kind of feeling red right now for this for some reason. And that's not a love thing. This is like it in a way it can symbolize an inner igniting to a certain extent, but this is more about being present. Like prism is the other word kind of coming in for me, right? So you are going to set a time frame that is going to you're going to burn the candle. You're going to set out a little dish, and it's going to have salt to start with, right? Because you have to cleanse the aura. If you have Florida water, all the better. Have that nearby as well, right? And you are going to you're going to draw a card. You're going to draw a card, an oracle card, right? And you're going to see what that says. Now, you need to align that with something else, like a crystal. So like in terms of crystals that will help you for creativity, let's start there first. I'm already thinking about psychic stuff, right? So, but for creativity, we're going to talk about like peacock ore, right? For creativity, for joy. I want to keep this joy kind of infused into the spell to kind of open you up a little bit and feel a little bit more creative. And then I would like you to focus in on Well, burn the candle, and then you're going to start the meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you always have to meditate for a minute or 2 or 10
Right.
or 20
Or
or an
forever.
hour
Never
or a
stop.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
it never stop. Never stop. Don't stop meditating. Oh, God. Oh, Journey. Do we remember Journey? Oh,
Of course.
so sorry. I got to turn that off. What is Sasha? Sasha's chiming in though, helping us out
Literally.
from San Fran.
Woohoo. Jealous.
I know, right?
So cool.
Dude, okay, I got to turn this off. So you're going to meditate, and you are going to see what you're going to take what that card says,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to find a creative way in which that card inspires you, and then go forth from there. Figure out what your medium is. I'm not going to tell you what your medium is. If you're going to write, you're going to draw, you're going to do something in the salt, you're going to go cook, you're going to, whatever it may be, you're going to focus in on creating something new from that. And then that's the perception is also like, whether you're meditating, whether you're really thinking about what the card was drawn, whether you're gazing into the candle, it has to be kind of a silent situation too. So that's from a creative standpoint, just opening the doors to creative perception. Right now, to spin back around, because I'm always the best person in the room for my entire life to never answer the question, because I'm already getting distracted. Let's talk about tapping into like another avenue of exposure.
Yeah.
Talk about realm, you want to talk about spirit realm, but this is the time to do it. First of all, folks, we're literally going into this weekend. So excellent question, right? It's Samhain. Take time one night this weekend, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, right before November 1st. And again, burn a candle, ask to be taken on a journey by your spirit guides.
Yeah.
Ask for signals from the universe.
Yep.
Trust them, meditate until you start to feel it cellularly that you're accessing something special.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it there. I mean, we could go deeper, folks, in lots of different ways, but it's really just that initial spark. You're just, excuse the metaphor, but you're just taking a subway ride to the next stop uptown.
Yeah. It works for me. I totally dig it.
I know. It's like you have to honor the time and the journey.
Yeah.
And we all have the power to access it. Some a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
Some may need more tools.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be done, and it can be done this weekend. So
yeah. I also think like karmically, for those who may be feeling intimidated about taking that step, you're going to receive what you put out. So if you enter this ritual with an open mind and a really, for lack of a better term, like wholesome intention that's filled with love and light and willingness to discover and maybe, critique in a way that's constructive and healthy, like you're going to find a guide in that alternate avenue that's going to give you those tools, going in with that open mind and open heart, through the lens of setting an intention that is just as open and filled with light. You're just inevitably going to get that back.
It's going to come back around. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know we're kind of, like I said, spitballing different ideas, but they all come back to the same root.
Right.
You have to purify yourself. Start with purification, right? You have to meditate. You have to burn a candle. You have to clean your house.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to start from something else. Like purification could mean, again, I guess I'm going to get back to fire. But, you have to
she always does.
Removing something,
yeah,
in some way, shape, or form. That's in your some way, shape, or form. Literally, that phrase there's a reason for that phrase. Like shape or form,
mm-hmm.
or lack thereof.
Right.
But it has to be in your mind's eye. It has a form. Lots of things have the form in your mind's eye. So that's what we're working with. We're working what's up here, but also in a physical way to help the transformation.
It's true. I don't even really have to do any editing when I do this podcast. She gets all the sound effects for me, just lined up.
So pale. I can't. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this costume?
You're gonna rock it. You're
I
gonna
gotta
kill it.
need more makeup. What color eyeshadow does like Alice in Wonderland wear? None.
I think it would be like a more minimal eye, but then like a dusty, flushed pink lip.
Yes. Of
You
course, I have
know.
no lips too, so there's that.
Well,
But
you do. Everyone has lips, Jennifer.
oh, I just lost it.
She
Oh,
lost the wig. The
I
wig
lost
fell.
I laughed so
Oh,
hard the wig came off.
that's like
Anyway,
my
okay.
dream. Make someone laugh so hard their wig falls off. Oh, this is what I mean. Open yourself to new and wonderful intentions.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna throw another one at you.
Oh God. All right. I'm gonna make myself ready.
Okay. Okay, this is very funny. What's happening.
You're so cute. I love you.
Clearly, I just have to lose the wig, and that's how it gets better. Look at this.
It's so cute. I think it's
Okay.
great.
I'm sorry, guys. We're tired today. Okay. Fear. Quick
Fear?
rescue for fear. Releasing fear.
Oh, okay. I was like curating fear. I just
No.
wake up. I was like,
That's a daily.
say no more. I'm an expert at this. All right. Let me think. Going outside of my prescribed drugs for eliminating fear. And sort of facing the fears. I will say, because as we all know, I just waddled right out of therapy before coming into this. So I've got a fresh perspective. And I have found that one, being sort of among nature and being outside, going outside of your safe hub, which doesn't mean like walk into a volcano. It means just like leave your house, go for a walk, like, have those little adventures of solitude by yourself, where you can just be among nature, go to a park, just kind of
wash your spirit clean.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of maybe some like little ingredients that I gravitate towards, in terms of releasing fear, that's a really good question. It's so funny because I literally practice this on a daily basis for myself, and I've never been asked how to like,
point in case, folks, I just want to say that like it's probably a good idea that we're doing this very spontaneously because this is how magic works.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of in this weird quandary with yourself.
Right.
Like, how do I fix this problem? How do I move to this next realm? How do I fall in love? How do I get my car jump started without a mechanic? I don't know. I'm making stuff up, but
no, it's good.
That's part of it. It's part of it. It's just like, what can I do with what I have today?
Yeah.
What do I have
will
today?
say, like another thing that I always have with me that has proven to really help release fear is water, drinking water. I know that sounds kind of surface level, but in the spiritual act of cleansing, I find that just sort of helping sort of release that fear, flush it out of the system. And then also take a shower. On a scientific level too, though, with salt and water, having plenty of electrolytes is actually really good for anxiety. It regulates your heart rate, keeps it at a healthy, calm, normal level. Yeah, she's got it. This podcast is sponsored by H2O, water.
Essential water.
Drink it.
Let's tear them up because they're really good.
So So, I mean, while it may seem kind of like, trite advice, it is tried and true. I never leave the house without my handy dandy water bottle with me, because on an emotional level, it's comforting to have, kind of has that act of cleansing. But then on a more sort of scientific level, staying hydrated really helps level out your heart rate and therefore makes you less inclined to panic and or be fearful.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know why I'm going here, but I'm just going to go there. So like, it's funny because that's like a really good, that the cleansing of many, many different levels, mentally, outside you, inside you. You just
Totally.
like these are things that are accessible, like completely accessible. And it's
Yeah.
funny. So in some traditions, like I'm just going to put this out there. There's actually traditions where in meditation where they do the opposite,
Mm,
which I'm not going to recommend to everybody, but like in some Buddhist practices, one called Tonglen, where you actually like breathe in the fear and the panic and all that.
yeah.
And they like, so that's like, high stuff, but
Yeah.
it's very easy on a just a level, human level, to just cleanse the things around you.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I also think there's something to be said about facing some fears. Oh my God. He has no fears. He just looks like a cartoon character. It's
Really,
Alice and the Cheshire and
yeah,
the
he
Cheshire
is
Cat.
the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
So cute.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think, while kind of breathing in the fear vapor might not,
Mhm.
be, as you said, Jen, recommended for everyone in order to release fear. But I also think that there's an element of Halloween, which is
True.
sort of
That
a
is.
celebration of fear. And obviously it's got different, explanations and definitions culturally, all of which should be respected and celebrated. But I think on a personal level for me, the celebration of fear and how fear is so human
I'm loving where this is going, by the way.
is thank you. I just, fear. I think about it all the time, is it takes away some of fear's power. And when you're
Yes.
sort of celebrating what is scary and embracing it, it it doesn't have that sort of oppressive heavy weight, I think, on one's psyche. And I think there's something really unifying in that, is with being with people who you trust and you love and you care about, and just kind of, you know embracing what is frightening, in a lot of ways. And I think it just kind of circles back to what we said before, which is you get what you put out, which is,
Mhm.
if you're stepping in, like for me, greatest fear,
Mhm.
interaction with other humans. But you go outside and you interact with people and you realize that it's actually really not that bad. It can actually be really fun sometimes, that the power that the fear has over you diminishes. And
Mhm.
I think it's just really Halloween's such a great time to just be with your people and celebrate it in a way that works for you.
And nobody's, and then, it's funny because like I'm so glad we went down this road because it's not just about dressing up.
Mhm,
It is embracing, in so many cultures. I mean, especially like Tibetan cultures,
mhm.
they like the demons are the things that you learn from.
Right.
They are literally like the scariest drawing of the demon, but like again, that's a good way to let it go too, right? Like just write it
Right.
all down, draw it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It's the
Totally.
capability of interacting with spirits and your darker side is what makes you illuminated, what makes you a
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
The gods and the demons, like they procreate if you don't, in so many
Yeah.
ways, shape, and form. It's
Yeah.
just saying that
Totally.
in some interesting ways.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I kind of like that. It helps you promote your consciousness,
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
you
because
know?
it's balanced with everything, like I I very much believe in sort of like my own spiritual beliefs that there would be no light without darkness.
Yes,
And there would be no, appreciation for the presence of light without also paying respect to darkness. I mean, they're
exactly.
all they're all probably looking at me on YouTube and they're like, she definitely taps into her darkness. Look at those wings. But like just sort of, and also like darkness has comforting aspects as well, and isn't entirely negative all the time,
Mhm.
like there's a heightened awareness in the dark, and there's also sort of a comforting blanket in the dark,
Yeah.
It's why we don't sleep during the day. It's ingrained in us, I think, both biologically and to an extent spiritually, that, our dreaming and our, most heightened subconscious state happens in the dark.
It's
And I
very
think
true.
there's
That's
something to be
so
said to
true.
that.
There's it's these little I don't know. The other things coming is like all the things we use in our spells and our ritual practice. I mean, and aside from crystals, but I'm going to use the word jewels.
Mm-hmm.
So, like they use that a lot. And it's like we use all these jewels, they come together, they adorn us, they help us be full and also empty. Like there's there's lightness and darkness, there's fullness and emptiness, there's
Mm-hmm.
consciousness and unconsciousness.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
There's like spaciousness and fullness. I mean, I guess I just sort of said the same thing twice. But again, that's why, again, these dichotomies, the God and the demon,
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
male and the female, right? The
Mhm.
masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang. I mean, we could just keep going. So, I mean, I guess like a good takeaway too is to, like, when you want to enhance yourself with some kind of ritual, go a little bit to the opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
Embrace
Totally.
the other side.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes the union. Right?
Yeah.
That's the union that comes together, because usually when there's a feeling of lack, and lack is not being full. So you want one or the other. You want like the complete surrender and the emptiness, or you want the intactness of everything.
I love this.
All right. So I think we could like kind of end with some interesting examples.
Totally.
Of epic influencing stories, gods, goddesses, demons, whatever, that talk about this lightness and darkness, and that use all these things from earth and from other realms and all that stuff, right? Like literally, like drink me potion, right? I literally right. So here's one that came to mind, because we were just talking about like darkness a lot and demons. Is Tibetan culture. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce, but I think it's Ekajati. It's a demon. She's a demon. She's like a dark female deity, I should just say. I don't want to jump right to demon, right?
Right.
But she has this attraction to power and darkness, right? And you should see the picture of her, like the tonkas that have been painted of her are insane. So get this, she's got one eye, one tooth, one breast, and her hair is always in this like cool bun that looks like one of those swirly ice cream cones.
Love it.
She's most often found stomping at what's supposed to be the courts of the ego.
We all need to be humbled, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So she only has the one of all these the body parts because it's supposed to signify that she's one with the universe and its creator.
Wow. I love that.
Right? That goes so far beyond like Adam and Eve shit.
Yeah. See, darkness isn't all bad.
Right?
Look at this lady. She's as balanced as it gets.
Exactly. I love that. Just like, and then I just want to say, in terms of like doing spell work and magic and stuff, like she's a good example of like, without using anything, she only has one of everything because the other part supersedes in the world. Yeah. We always have what we need, guys, to do the spell work. That's what I'm saying. The magic, we always have all the things. Yeah. You don't always just have to come by like you're going to do on Sunday and do some fun stuff with us at the Mothership. But, that's craft. That's why I call them crafting rituals sometimes, right? But witchcraft is craft. Witchcraft. Duh. Okay. I'll shut up now. You have another example for me?
Well, I think in the terms of light, and I think just a really great way to sort of encapsulate everything we've been talking about, is like, because I obviously, a good challenge for me was to look on the light side of like fiction and lore, because
we're doing the complete opposite.
I know,
we're
literally
yin-yanging ourselves out, man. I love it.
It's so good. But I mean, this one, because I think it's also, we want to do like a fairy tale episode at some point. I love it. And we were talking about Cinderella and the fairy godmother.
Yep.
And it's also the same thing of like putting out an intention and putting out, your existence in a way that is good and thoughtful. So that way, if on the off chance you maybe are seeking some materials and tools that you don't have yet, by putting out the intention, you then are able to receive
The law of
what you're
attraction, law
missing.
of abundance. Like,
Yes.
boom, Cinderella's scrubbing the floor, and all of a sudden there's like a bird, and next thing you know, there's a fairy godmother.
Yep. Yep.
Man,
And
what
she
happened in
keeps
that
all
story?
her toes. It's true.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
She
Well,
does.
only one shoe though.
That's true. But still, you know, like if I lost a shoe, I would not go to that level. And she doesn't either. She gets it.
I know.
So, you know, that's also being aware and one with the universe
Mhm.
in its own special little way.
I know. Oh
So,
wow. Well, this was nice. This was very light and dark for Halloween.
I
I think
know.
in different ways.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, happy Halloween, happy Samhain, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is coming up on the weekend. I hope people listen to this beforehand.
Right. Get a little witchy before you get designy.
Exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. Oh my God. Cool. All right,
Awesome.
guys. Well,
Happy
trick
Halloween.
or treat. Ciao.
Bye.